that means the table analyze statements will not be generated in this code, but if I am putting it there, it will be using it will create the statements to analyze the tables also. Okay, so what is the table analyzing? Before 10 and all, table analyze we used to call it as analyzing the tables, but later it's analyzing the table is nothing but gathering the statistics. Okay, so analyze means gathering the analyze the table. Analyze the table means gathering the table stats. Table statistics. Okay, so what is a table? What is the gathering table statistics means? See, we are gathering table stats means it will have all the complete information related to the table data. Means, for example, in this particular table, let us say we have inserted 1000 records, and earlier let us say there was some 10,000 records, so it became 11,000 records. So if you are doing the stats on this table, means it will give all the parameters, how many records are there, right? What are all the what is the row length, what is the table size, what is the maximum value for a particular column, what is the minimum value for a particular column, how many nulls are there. All this kind of information it will gather. These are all called statistics for this particular table. So table statistics are very helpful, because when we are doing when we are performing certain queries based on the table statistics, actually the execution plan will be defined. Okay, so in order to have a best performance for your SQL queries, you should have the latest table statistics. For example, let us say I have gathered the table stats on employee table on last Sunday. Okay, at that time there are let us say 1000 records, and now I have inserted 10,000 records. Total it became 11,000. If I am not gathering the statistics again, what will happen is the optimizer or execution plan will treat that this table is having 1000 records, because the previous statistics is showing that okay, there are only 1000 records in this particular table. So based on that, actually it will prepare the execution plan. So this execution plan is designed only to execute 1000 records. Okay, so when it is coming to 11,000, 10,000 earlier records and 10,000 new records, total became 11,000, and this execution plan may not be good for the 11,000 records. Here we are taking only thousands of records, so the numbers may be quite look like a small one, but when you are dealing with a huge data, millions of data, then it will have a lot of impact on the queries which are using these tables. Okay, so we have to make sure that the table is having proper statistics or latest statistics on the table. Then it will be good for the reporting, because generally after loading the data into the tables, the reporting will be done on these tables. They will build up big queries to generate the reports. because that is the main purpose of our data warehouse, right? So our main intention is to have to create n number of reports at the end. Now we are loading the data, okay, and if the reports are taking long time, then again it will be a problem. So we have to make sure that the table statistics are also gathered. So this can be what we can do in OWB is, by default we can tell the program that, okay, after loading this particular table, please gather the statistics. I am telling it. So it will whenever this particular program is running, first it will insert the records, and then it will do the statistics by default. Every time it will do that. Okay, so for that actually we have different options here. So what it will do is, while gathering the table statistics, the database or statistics program, it will not read all the rows in that particular table. It will not read. It will take some sample of the records, and based on that it will come to an estimation. Okay, the more the sample size is, the more accurate the results, the table stats will be. But at the same time, as the sample percentage is increasing, it is more load on the system, because if you out of 11,000 records, I am taking only 100 records, and based on that, let us say I am coming to a statistics. Okay, accessing 100 records is easy, it can do it very easily. But if I am taking all the records and I am starting computing statistics, then it will take a lot of time, right? But that will again it will be accounted to our ETL process. So there is a lot of articles on what is the best sample size that we can include for a table statistics program. There are a lot of discussions on that. So generally 5%, 1%, sometimes Oracle can take only the automated size, in the sense nowadays Oracle came up with the automatic features, so it will decide based on the table size and all, it will decide how much percentage of table records I can take, so that I can come to a good conclusion, I can give a good statistics. So auto feature is available. So as part of auto feature, let us say it may be selecting sometimes 0.1% or 1% records, and it is giving best statistics. That is also possible. So here you have to go for a break-even option. So you should not give 50, 100%, then it will be very huge load on the system. Okay, so we have to be careful about this one. But when you are doing it manually using the gather stats statements, we have option to give auto. Auto means the Oracle itself internally it will identify the best sampling size and it will use it for statistics. Okay, that is about statistics. And next one is bulk size. So bulk size is some chunk size. Bulk size comes into picture when you are doing row based operation. Okay, so let us say if we are enabling the parallel DML operation, then what it will do is it can take the bulk size. We have seen a row based target only operation, right? Row based target only operation. So what we thought in this one, so target, while inserting into the target, I have to do it in row based, but the selection we can do it in the bulk, right? So during that time what it will do is it will take the size. That means for each batch it will take only 1000 records and it will try to process. Okay, that is how actually it works. And chunk size is also we have discussed. When we are going for the chunking for bulk operation, it can do into different chunks. That means all the records it will divide into 6 chunks. If there are by default it is taking 6. So if there are 6 million record, in each operation, each batch it will take 1 million. So 1 into 6 million records. So 6 times it will process. So these are all the different options available. So chunking column also you can give. If you are enabling the chunking, it will come here. Chunking method for parallel chunking. So parallel chunking, which number column you want to use, number column or row ID, all these options we have. Chunking strategy, we are not following anything parallel or serial. Right now we have disabled, we have not selected this one, so we need to bother, but we have option whether to do it in a serial or parallel. In the sense, see, as I said, there are 6 in the above example. For 6 million records, each chunk got 1 million records, right? All these chunks they can start at a time or they can do one after another. So one after another means after first it will first process will take the first million, it will process, and next it will second one will start and then it will process, and then the third one will start and it will process. Like that it will go on. But in parallel mode, all the 6 chunks will try to start at a time. But the advantage is it is not handled, it can be handled by 6 coordinators. So the load again it will be distributed, it will not be coming from the one single operation. So that is also one advantage. So chunking tables, where you want to do, you are giving this option where you want to do. Okay, chunking table owner, commit frequency. When you are doing the row based operation, we are inserting one record after another, right? So after how many records, let us say after how many records you want to commit. After each record you want to commit, after 100 records you want to commit, or 1000 records you want to complete. That is the parameter this indicates. You can give whatever the value you are giving. If you are giving very least value, again it will be a huge load on the system. Default audit level complete we are giving. Here we have option for error details, statistics. The default every time better to have the complete details, so that if there are any errors we can see. Default per group is OWB related group is WB. Maximum number of errors. See, this is the one we were discussing in the row based operation. So here by default 50 is the maximum errors. That means when it is processing in a row based operation, it can allow maximum 50 errors. Let us say there are 100 records have some issues. Okay, so till the 50 errors it will process. Okay, so it will process one by one, and if there is any error, it will keep it inside. It will count error 1, and next time it will take next record. If it is good, it will insert. if it is having some errors, it is producing some errors, data issues, then it will keep it aside and count it as error record. So it will become 2. Like that it will keep on counting till 50, till the error count is increased to 50. It will process the available records. Okay, fine. After that it will, if any errors are coming, that means for 51st record, 51st error, it will say that bus, you have exceeded the maximum number of allowed errors, so I cannot process anything. So till that part, based on your commit frequency, what are the records got inserted or updated will be committed, and the program will come out, it will stop. Okay, so in this example, let us say there are out of 1000, okay, there are 60 errors, 60 records with issues, let us assume. Okay, and these 60 records, they are starting from 600 to 660, and let us say we have 1000 records. The record 1000 we have, but 600 to 660, all these records are having issues. Or let us say 600 to 630, the records are not good, and again let us say 40, and again 900 to 920, 40 plus 20, 60 records. These records are having some issues, let us assume. So when it is doing in the row based operation, what it will do is, it is doing one by one record. So till 599 there is no issue, and let us say my commit frequency is 1. That means for each record I am committing. So at that time what it will insert up to 599, and the error records are 0 till 599. So again from 600 to 640, all these 40 records are having issues. So my error count is 40. From 641 to 899, again 0, because all the records are good records, so I am processing them, and I am committing each record. So till 899 the records got inserted, except the records between 600 to 640, because they are having some errors, and they are kept aside. After 900 it will start, 900 to 1000, right, 1000, but 900 to 910, 10 records, it will become 50, error count will become 50. So 911th record is also having a error, so the error count will become 51. So it will say that no, we have exceeded the maximum allowed errors 50, so I am stopping the program. So if you see at the end, you will have the records from 1 to 599, 641 to 899 records you will have in your target table, and this 40 and this 900 to 1000 records also will not be there in the target. That is the difference. Okay, so we have to this is the beautiful option, but at the same time you have to be careful, and sometimes even for a single error I do not want to continue my process. At that time you have to make it manually 0, or sometimes I do not bother how many records, how many errors are there. I want to continue, I want to complete my process. In that case I can define a big value here, something like this. But with your general experience in this particular mapping, the source may not have more than 5000 records. Even if all of them are having errors, this is very much less than this big value, so it will stop. It will execute. There may all the records may not be inserted, right? All the records may not be inserted, but the program will complete without it will complete. It will not stop in between. So the same example, if I am taking here, instead of 50, I have given this big number. What will happen is it will fail 900 to 920, right? 920 it will fail. So these are the 20 records, and from 921 till 1000 there are no issues, so it will go. And till this last record we got only 60 errors, but here I have defined maximum number of errors allowed is this much big number. So it is obviously the errors are less than this one, so the program is able to process till the last record and it will come out. Okay, so if you see the audit details, there you can find these many records are selected, these many records inserted or updated or deleted, and these many records got errors. All these details you can find in the audit tables. This is only applicable for the row based or row based target only operation. Set based, anyway, even whatever the number you are giving here doesn't bother, it will simply come out. Even for a single error it will come out if you are giving set based operation. Number of threads to process chunks. So these are the threads. Threads means like for one chunk, again it can be processed by number of threads or number of sessions. Those kind of details also you can give here. So these are all the runtime properties. These are all the comes under runtime properties, and very important one for a OWB project. Okay, and this one generation code, okay, that is also fine. And the next one is table operator. This will give you what are all the tables you have selected and from where you see. So this is the table we have selected from this location. Optimize, merge, false, schema, all these details you have. So you don't need to check these things. These details will be populated based on your table properties. Okay, so we have configured our mapping also. So now everything is ready. After configuration also you can validate again fine. Everything is looking good. Validation completed successfully, right? And the next step is, now you have one program. So the next step is to create deploy this particular mapping. Deploy means compiling the program into your database so that it can be reused as many times as possible as required. So this is everything is in warehouse builder. This is not there in the database till now. Okay, so if you want this program to be executed or compiled first and then later executed whenever required, then first of all you have to deploy it into the database. So let us see now how to deploy this particular mapping. For that one, we have to go to the control center manager. Control center manager under the tools, see the control center manager. So this control center manager, what it will do is, it is the agent which will handle the deployment and execution and maintaining the audit information into the respective tables. So design center, it will hold the complete metadata information, right? And the control center manager will make sure that the particular program you have defined will be deployed into the target database. So before going to that, so we have to see for the control center also we have the location. So we have, during runtime we may have to give the details. Okay, so and also if you see, there is a called configuration. Select template is not required, default agent, control center is default control center. So that means the default control center will be used for this particular configuration. So I am going to the control center, then it will ask me to give the it will give all the available projects configured under this particular control center. So we have the Scott location we have created, right? Under Scott location we have created the mapping. So let us go to that mapping first. Go to Scott location, under that we have the mapping, and also before that you just see deployment action, nothing is there. So here I am selecting this particular mapping. This is the first time I am doing, so create it, right? This mapping is nothing but it will create a package in the database. It will generate the code and it will compile the package. So now I am going to the this option, employees, map employees package mapping, and I am trying to what I am trying to do, I am trying to deploy it. I have set the deployment action as create. So I am starting it. So this deployment action, it is generation. This is generating the code. First it will generate the code, okay, and after that it will connect to the target and it will try to deploy it. So see here, the after generation means it has generated the code, and now it is trying to compile the generated code into the database. See, it failed with some errors. You see that here the status is completed with errors. That means the deployment itself is completed with errors. So why it got failed, we have to see the error details, right? So let us click on the error button and let us see what are all the details. See, map employee, here the error description is available. Just see this one. Map employees I create error RFE-01012 cannot deploy PLSQL maps to this target schema. The target schema must be in the same instance as the control center and have the OWB user role granted. Please use the OWB security UI to make the target schema an OWB user. So what it is saying that what it is saying, it is saying that this Scott user, it is not configured as a target schema for OWB. What is the target schema? See here this module we have configured for the Scott user, right? So that means what OWB will try, what it will try to do, because it is under Scott user, right? So OWB, what it will do, it will try to connect to Scott user, okay, and it has generated the code, right? The code is available now. It has generated the package and it's ready for deployment, and then it will try to connect to Scott and it will try to deploy the code. While deploying the code, actually it has a certain checks that whether this is Scott user, this is the database user, okay, you have created your Scott user and you are working with that, there is no problem with that, absolutely fine. But at the same time this user should be registered with OWB and telling it that it is a target schema for OWB. Okay, that means when you are registering a schema as a target schema for OWB, it will prepare certain activities, it will deploy certain objects which are part of OWB, okay, and these objects actually will be used in the generated code. Without these objects, generated the code and you have compiled it, it will not be working, because the thing is that they are not registered as a OWB target users. So considering all these things, what it will do is before trying to compile the package into the target schema, that is Scott here, before doing that, what it will do is it will verify whether this user can be used for the target schema or not. It will go and verify first. It has a certain checks, right? So during that it will identify whether all the target schema which can be treated as a target schema, does it have all the roles, OWB related roles and related privileges, related table access, all those things it will verify. And if it is not satisfying, then it will come out saying that we cannot do the deployment for this schema. There is no problem with validating the mapping, because validation we have seen, right? Validation we have seen, it got completed successfully earlier.